In the shadows of forgotten legends, fear still breathes. Welcome to Peculiar Bong. 300 miles south of Cairo, the Temple of Seti I at Abydos stands as a limestone monument to the stability of ancient Egypt. In 1848, an expedition inside these massive walls found a set of carvings that would eventually ignite a global conspiracy. To our modern eyes, the shapes are unmistakable: a helicopter, a tank, and a sleek aircraft. For decades, these images fueled claims that pharaohs possessed high-tech machinery or encountered time travelers. The mechanical shapes are actually a palimpsest, the result of a clerical update. When Ramesses II inherited the temple, his father's original titles were plastered over and recarved. As the plaster crumbled over 3 millennia, the overlapping names merged to form a helicopter silhouette. This visual accident highlights a deeper truth about the Egyptian method. They treated these stone walls as a storage medium for layered information. They built their civilization on a very specific type of cultural technology. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs functioned as an active operating system. While we often treat writing as a static record of things that have already happened, the Egyptians used it as a programmatic tool designed to hack and manipulate physical reality. The mechanics of this system are found in the foundational myths of the Nile Valley. In their cosmology, language does not describe reality, language creates it. This concept is preserved in the Memphite theology, a text that describes the universe as a product of intentional design. It centers on Ptah, a god who acted as the universe's original architect. Ptah generated the world through his heart and his tongue. He conceived a plan in his mind, and by speaking that plan into existence, he transformed pure thought into physical matter. The god Thoth supposedly invented hieroglyphs to capture this generative power. He provided a way to record the authoritative commands of the gods, turning temporary speech into permanent executable code. Every carving on a temple wall was a performance of this myth. A scribe was never just documenting an event. They were executing a ritual act of creation intended to maintain the sacred order of the world. The most practical application of this system was the Book of the Dead. This collection of spells functioned as a technical manual and survival guide for the deceased navigating the underworld. The manual focuses on a single high-stakes ritual, the weighing of the heart. To enter the afterlife, the heart is weighed against the feather of Maat, the goddess of absolute, objective truth. Objective truth is a dangerous standard. If a heart is heavy with the weight of a person's mistakes, it is consumed by the devourer demon Amit. This is a total system failure, the permanent annihilation of the soul. Because no human is perfectly sinless, the Egyptians engineered a workaround to protect themselves from this judgment. They called it Spell 30B. This hack required physical hardware. The heart scarab was a heavy stone amulet placed directly over the mummy's chest during the embalming process. The base of the scarab was carved with the text of Spell 30B. When activated at the moment of judgment, the spell commanded the person's own heart to stay silent and not testify against them. It was a targeted override, using programmed text to force the scales to balance regardless of the owner's sins. The existence of the heart scarab proves that the Egyptians prioritized the power of their code over the laws of the gods. With the right writing, even the ultimate judgment of the universe could be successfully hacked. By the 19th century, the original priests were gone, and the spoken language was forgotten. The temples had become silent ruins. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone provided the reference point needed to reactivate the system. Because it contained the same message in 3 different scripts, scholars used the known Greek text to map the underlying logic of the Egyptian symbols. Victorian Egyptologists like E.A. Wallace Budge began mass publishing these translated spells. This unintentionally released thousands of ancient entities back into the global consciousness through books and catalogs. Among them was Medjed, an obscure demon found in Spell 17. His visual depiction is strikingly odd, a sheet-like figure with visible feet and eyes shooting light. For over a century, Medjed remained a footnote in academic papers. But in 2012, a Book of the Dead exhibition in Japan brought his image to a digital audience. He instantly went viral. Medjed rapidly replicated across the internet, appearing in anime, video games, and thousands of fan-made memes. He became a thriving cultural icon, operating entirely independently of his original religious meaning. Hieroglyphs were engineered as visually potent packets of information designed to persist. Medjet's transition from an obscure funerary spell to a digital icon suggests the Egyptians succeeded. They created a visual code that easily executes its influence in our minds, thousands of years after its authors vanished.
Do not close your eyes. They are waiting for us.